Hello and welcome to this week's video blog with me, Tom Nolan, the pay-per-click manager at Creare. This week we're going to be looking at keywords. So first off, Google recommends organising your keywords in the same way you've structured your campaigns and ad groups. So as we discussed in last week's video blog, how Google recommends you organise the structure of your AdWords campaign based on the structure of your website. It's the same with the keywords. So each ad group should contain slightly themed keywords. A small group of carefully targeted keywords are far better than a large group of untargeted keywords. For example, an ad group with the theme of oak flooring should only contain keywords specifically related to oak flooring rather than a large group of keywords related to maple flooring or just flooring in general. There is no one size that fits all answer, but it is advised to aim between 5 and 50 keywords in each ad group. Therefore, theming your keyword groups in this way will help you when you're writing your ads, and most importantly of all, make your advertising high quality, allowing your customers to find you easily. Right, so once you've decided how you want to split your ad groups up and what keywords you're going to apply to which, it's then obviously you've got to populate your keyword list with keywords. So the way to do that is once you go into your keywords tab, if you click on the add keywords button and then actually go to the keyword tool, is my favourite way of doing it. So you find your link on your right hand side just here and click on keyword tool. Then obviously this takes you through to the AdWords keyword tool. Now the best thing about this is obviously it allows you to quickly choose a list of keywords and import them directly into your keyword list. So if you type in something, say oak flooring, press search. Obviously you're making sure your parameters are set to the UK if you're working in the UK, and wherever you live change it to that. And then obviously you'll be given a list of keywords related to the term oak flooring. Now at the moment this is set on broad matches. We'll go into match types in a minute, but obviously you can change, clicking on the buttons down the side, you can change it to exact or phrase also, and it'll change the keyword options based on that. Now it's as simple as going down the list, choosing the keywords you like on the tab on the left hand side of the keywords. So you just pick a couple, for example, and then say they're the keywords you like, add your keywords, choose the campaign you want to put it into, choose the ad group it wants to go into, and save and continue, and that places those keywords in that ad group. Right, for this section I want to talk to you about matching types. Now I believe you should probably choose what matching types you want to go for in the strategy of your campaign, but in terms of implementing them, this is how you do it. So say you type in a keyword like red shoes and you press search, it will give you options surrounding the keyword red shoes. Now you'll see down the left hand side you'll have match types. At the moment this is set to broad, so therefore it's just literally the keyword will appear as itself. Now a broad match reaches the most users by showing your ad whenever the keyword or a relevant variation of keyword is searched for. So for example, if your keyword is red shoes, it will trigger your ad on searches such as red shoes, red, pink shoes, or shoes coloured red. This is the default option for keywords, but it's also because it's the broadest. But there's other options than that as well. We've also got the exact and phrase. So if you click exact and take it off broad, it will change all your keyword options in the keyword tool to exact matches, as you'll see here. So it will put little square brackets around it. Now if you were to actually type in your keywords back into the AdWords platform, this is how you'd set an exact match keyword, by putting the square brackets either end of the keyword you wish. An exact match is it's exactly what it says in the tin. Your ads will only appear if people match your keyword in a search query exactly. You won't receive as many impressions, clicks or conversions with an exact match than you compared to a phrase or a broad match. But if you carefully constructed your keyword list, you will receive very targeted clicks. Therefore your conversion rate could be higher even though your traffic volume is lower. The final option you've got on the matching types is a phrase match. So this is one I particularly like because it's broader than an exact match but narrower than a broad. So you don't get any of the sort of flaky traffic that you don't want that are just going to browse around, not particularly interested or targeted, but you're not so specific that you're going to get no traffic at all. Now when you change on the matching types to phrase, you'll get the little quotation marks appear either side of the keyword. This is exactly how you'd have to write it if you were to write it manually into your AdWords platform. Now the phrase match is, like as I explained, is more targeted than a broad match, but it's also more flexible than an exact match. By choosing the phrase, your ad would be eligible to appear when a user searches on the phrase red shoes or words in that order. So you'd end up, red shoes for sale or suede red shoes are examples of keyword searches that your ad would appear for, but you wouldn't appear for something like pink shoes or just shoes as you would do on a broad match. So they're your matching types so far. We'll now go back into the AdWords platform and we'll look at negative matches and modified broads. Right, well, here we are then, the negative matches. You'll find where to enter your negative keywords below the actual keyword list that you have in the AdWords platform. So if you find the negative keyword section down to the bottom left and you click on add, this is where you can actually add the negative keywords. Now, negative keywords are basically terms you don't want your ads to appear for. For example, the word cheap is quite a popular word to have in a negative keyword list, because you don't a lot of people don't want their products to be perceived as cheap. So you want cheap cloud computing or cheap oak flooring or even cheap shoes. So if you put the word cheap, then whatever you say your keyword is, red shoes, that your ad wouldn't appear for cheap red shoes. It would only appear for red shoes. These are quite useful in narrowing down undesirable traffic, and the best way to build your negative keyword list is to keep a look on your analytics and any terms that are coming through that are not providing any conversions, or they're just undesirable. Add them to your negative keyword list, and this restricts where your ads show. Right, now on to my favourite matching type, the modified broad. Now, a modified broad sits somewhere between a broad match that will show for everything related to your keyword terms and a phrase match which is more restrictive. I quite like it because obviously it gives you the impression share and the exposure of a broad match, but it's slightly more targeted. Now, the way to set about setting up a broad match is to go into it once you're in your keyword tab, click on the add keywords. Unfortunately, at the moment, as it's a new type of matching type, there isn't a button you can press for modified broad, so you have to write them in manually, but it's relatively simple. So say your keyword again is red shoes, you simply put a plus before each of the terms. So you put plus red space plus shoes, and then you just go down and save. Now that will show for any searches where the search term has red and shoes in it, but it won't appear for as many terms as broad, so it won't, and it works. That's all I can say, really. Right, to finish off then, we've got some best practices for choosing successful keywords. So point 1 is think like your customers. Remember, how might your customers search for your product or service? Generally, the best keywords tend to be 2 or 3 words long, so it's always worth sort of brainstorming, working out what your customers search for, what you think they're going to search for, and also look at your analytics data and find out what people may have searched for before. And that's point 1, think like your customers. Point 2 is match your keywords to the ad text. Now, each keyword should match the ad text that it triggers when a potential customer searches on Google. To do this, group all the keywords relating to a particular product or service into a specific ad group. You can then create an ad that matches these keywords so that whatever a user searches for, they see an ad that is very relevant to their search. Point 3, regularly review your keywords. Through regular reviews, you can remove keywords which are not providing value and learn from the success of the top performing keywords. If you keep on top of this and perform this regularly, you should end up with keyword lists that are only full of keywords that convert for you. Right, tip 4 is use negative keywords. Now, a lot of people when they first start with AdWords underestimate the value of negative keywords. Now, the value of negative keywords is you're not having your ad show for undesirable search terms. Now, not only is this an advantage because you're not wasting money on clicks for certain terms that are no use to you, that by using negative keywords, it's also even on a broad match, you're targeting more with your exposure of your ads. Now, by increasing, the targeting of your ad exposure, not only are you going to gain more valuable and useful clicks, you also, like I said, not wasting money. So the best way to build your negative keyword list, as previously mentioned, is to use your analytics data and sales data, work out what's not working for you, and add these to your negative keyword list. Now on to tip 5. I'm really sorry, I don't know how that got in there, but while we're on the subject, why not consider Creo for your pay-per-click management? We have very favourable rates. More tips soon regarding pay-per-click, so thanks for tuning in to today's video blog. Goodbye.
You can give a little wink at the end there.
Did I?
Well, yeah. They can't see the mic.
I've been trained for camera, mate, haven't I?